Delighted to be joined by the now three-time League of Ireland winning manager, Stephen Bradley. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds nice.
So it didn't happen on Sunday night against Derry, the grand finale. Derry lose last night. Where were you? Were you watching it?
No, I was actually at Talca. I went to watch Shells in UCD last night.
Ever the
I
professional.
so I wouldn't watch it, and we have UCD in a couple of weeks, so I went to watch that. But I kept hearing the result. Obviously, everyone was telling me.
So was there a little celebration last night?
Yeah, just a little. We went home and the staff got together and we had one or two shandies.
Very good, very good. This is the difference between a player and a manager. Gary O'Neill was saying he had a Nando's on the couch. They don't get to properly celebrate.
No, the players have a game Thursday, which is we have to prepare for Thursday and then Sunday, so you don't get much time. Obviously, at the end of the season, I'm sure they'll have a drink or two.
When you were sitting down last night and reminiscing over the season, what are the moments that stand out as been really critical to winning this league?
There's been lots of moments throughout the season. That's why winning the league is the hardest thing, because there's so many challenges throughout the season. But I think Shells a couple of weeks back stands out in terms of the last few seconds of the game. Rory's finish, I think that really swung momentum in our favour.
Because it was clear from very early on, from the second week of the season up in Derry, when they get that win, that they were going to run you close, that there was a real quality to that side. Of the three, does this feel like the most hard fought one?
Yeah, just because of group stages of Europe and the fact we've been playing 2 or 3 games a week since the summer, so it's definitely been the hardest one in that regard, but that makes it more enjoyable when you actually do go and get it done.
And it's been difficult as well with injuries and managing injuries. People point to the squad depth, but you've really needed it with Pico Lopez been out for so long, Jack Byrne struggling to play a full 90 minutes even when he was fully fit. Graham Burke, it felt like he probably never fully got going as well. You've really utilised every member of that squad across the season.
Yeah, we spoke the first day of pre-season as a group, saying what our aims were, and understanding that if we got to achieve some of them, that we'd need everybody to play their part. And the group have been incredible at buying into that and understanding that there's been weeks that they won't play, and then there's been weeks where they might play 2 or 3 games in that week. So they've been fantastic as individuals and the team, and in that regard, in terms of understanding when it's their time to stand up, that they're ready.
Because on the outside, that would have been one of the questions early in the season, is how you get that balance of talking to a Graham Burke or a Danny Mandrea and saying, actually, you're going to sit this one out for the first hour. Like, they're not easy conversations to have with players who feel they're amongst the best in the league and should never be sitting on the bench.
Yeah, the top players, that's the reason they're here. But I think we've built that relationship over time that we can have them conversations, and they understand that everything we do is around the group, and always has been, always will. And if we feel that there's one individual that feels that he's above that or doesn't buy into that, well, then they don't belong here. And so I think it's important that the right characters are here to allow you to be able to rotate like we do.
You don't want to talk about individuals, I'm sure, but I'm going to force you on a couple of them from back and from front. Alan Manis, 40 years of age. I know how I was creaking getting out of bed this morning. He's been exceptional. It's hard to think of a game where he didn't make a couple of big saves.
Yeah, incredible. I think a lot of people at the start of the year were looking at his age and thinking, can he be the keeper he was? I think this has probably been his best year since he's been back. I think he's been fantastic. He's made big saves in vital moments in games throughout the season, and he's been brilliant around the dressing room. He's been fantastic.
And at the other end, Rory Gaffney, you said after the game you feel he's been the best player in the league this season. Like, at 33, are you in any way a bit surprised as to the level he got? Even watching him on last Friday night, like, it was men against boys at times. The strength that he has, the control, the confidence that he seems to have in himself at the moment.
No, I'm not surprised. I played with Rory before he went to England, and I knew the quality he had. I seen up close, and when you know his character, he just has to be right in terms of injuries, and then what we've been seeing all year, you get from him. I think I've said it already. For me, he's the best player in the country this year. I don't think anyone comes close to him. I think he's been unplayable at times, like he was against St. Pat's, and he's had to manage the last 4 weeks with a bad injury. He's just been very rare to be in training. He's just been going game to game. So yeah, he's been like I feel he's been the best player in the country.
When a team has been as successful as Shamrock Rovers, there's going to be an awful lot of scrutiny, and particularly in the last few weeks, even though you've been closing in on the title, it seems to have increased because of Europe and the results, and even I think the cup game against Derry and the rotation. How have you found that process of having to rotate and maybe not being able to put out the team you want all the time? Because I suppose for the supporters, these are huge games for them, and they're looking going, we want to win everything.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, and I understand people from the outside being slightly disappointed at times in terms of we're not playing what they would consider the best team. But I said from the start that I trust the group. If you're here because I feel you contribute to the team and the group. We all know you're at your best when you're playing the same 11 week in, week out, but you also got to be sensible, and you can't do that. You look around Europe at the moment, Liverpool, Arsenal, Celtic, they're all making changes when they've got big games, and we're no different. And when you make so many changes, it does disrupt your rhythm, and definitely hurts the team. But you have to think of the players' welfare and understanding that it's a long season and make sure they're ready for it.
Do you feel there's an opportunity now in the last 2 European games, then with the pressure off, with the league campaign done, for the players to really go and express themselves and show what they're about in Europe?
I think a lot of the criticism has been really harsh in Europe. I think Joe Garden's at home. You watch the game, we should win the game. Molde last week, we should win the game. They score a first goal, it's 3 yards offside. We had real chances to win the game. Molde away, we deserved to get beat. That was a totally different game. I take responsibility for that. We were thinking of the league coming on the Sunday. And Ghent away, we shouldn't win the game, but we have chances to get a point out of it. So I think, again, a lot of people look at results based rather than performance, and when you break down the performances, we've had Ghent where we were just okay, Molde away where we were really poor. Other than that, we've been good, and if we bring that into Thursday, I feel we can go and win the game.
How difficult a decision was that Molde away one? That maybe it's justified now because you're the champions, but you're a manager, you've got your own ambitions, you want to show Europe is what you're about as well. To make that sacrifice, I'm sure it didn't rest easy on your shoulders.
No, it wasn't nice. It's not something you want to do, but my thought process has to be the bigger picture for the team and the club, and our bigger picture was Shells on the Sunday. And like you said, it's not nice standing there. I felt we can have a go at Molde like we showed at home, but you got to be sensible and think of the travel. You got to think of the distance the players are going to cover, and I've got to minimise that as much as possible. And we did that on the night. But what comes with that is a poor performance, and you get beat 3-0 quite comfortably. I don't think we had a shot, which never really happens for us. But look,
Rory Gaffney turns one in the 94th minute 3 days later, and
yeah, well, I think if we go there and open up and cover 13-14k and have a right go at them, I don't think you have the 5 or 6 players going till the 94th minute against Shells that we had on the Sunday. So like I said, our job as staff is to look at the bigger picture.
You had a couple of very important weeks personally in the middle of the summer. Firstly, on the football side, the decision to stay at Shamrock Rovers and not go to Lincoln. Again, a decision now that looks like a very wise one. Can you give us your reflections on that period and your thought process?
Yeah, just like I said, Lincoln, I said at the time, are a very good club and have real plans and really good people behind them, and they're going to be successful in their way. I've no doubt they will be, but I felt that we had unfinished business. I felt we were at a really good moment. When I spoke to the board, I spoke to people who advised me, and I spoke to the players, and I felt we had unfinished business. And yeah, look, I'm the type, when you make a decision, you don't look back, you go with it, and that's exactly what I've done, made the decision, and was really happy with it.
It came around a time of massive personal turmoil as well. You spoke about your son Josh and his illness, and talking to Gary O'Neill there, he said that was a real factor in the players' minds over recent weeks, that they knew every victory gave you and the family a bit of happiness, a bit of joy. Like, from the outside football, it's very hard for people to know what's going on. How has that been for you? Been in here every day, been at matches? I'm sure in one way it's a distraction, but at the same time it takes you away from probably where you want to be.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant release for me to come in every day and work with these players and the staff and take my mind off what's been the toughest year of our lives. But I think I asked the players when it happened to do everything possible to allow Josh to lift that trophy for us and get the medal, and they've more than held their end of the bargain. They've been incredible, and how they've gone and done that for themselves, for the club, and for the staff, but for Josh. So yeah, I'll be forever in their debt.
Yeah, I'd say he woke up a happy young lad this morning, and hopefully Sunday night against Derry can fully enjoy those celebrations.
Yeah, hopefully he's well enough to come to the game and celebrate with the players, because again, they've done it for him, and he'll be the happiest little boy in Ireland on Sunday.
You, as a manager, of course, we don't talk about 3 in a row. Gary said it was brought up about getting the second star. The 20th league title is actually something that now, forever for their careers, they're going to be able to look back at Shamrock Rovers and see 2 stars and go, we were the players, we were the group. Like, there must be an enormous satisfaction in that you've made that history over the past few weeks.
Yeah, that was our aim. We spoke about this at the start of the year, that I wanted this group to be the group that put the second star on the jersey, because like you said, when we're long gone, we'll always be that team that's recognised as the team that got that second star, and that's something that can never be taken away from you. And we've done that. Now we've got to enjoy it and then see how we get
4 in a row.
5.
Come on, 4 in a row.
Yeah, we've got to see
35 years is it since 4 in a row?
How we get 4, and hopefully we can get 4, and how we get 5. That has to be the plan. We have to think like that. We can't stop. We can't think job is done. We enjoy this. We celebrate this because you have to, and we will. But then when we next year, it's about going for 4 and then go for 5.
37 years of age, 3-time league-winning manager. Do you ever worry about peaking too early?
I probably have peaked already too. No, I think it's about hunger. It's about your desire to want to improve. And right now, that's definitely burning inside.
Well done, Stephen. Enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you, I will.